the Joy Agenda podcast. I'm Hannah Campbell.
And I am Jane Lafferty. And in the podcasting studio with us today, we have comedian, influencer, sketcher.
Yes.
I don't know, sketcher? That's, I didn't think this out.
Sketchy all-round guy.
Sketchy all-round guy.
The word is out.
It's Ali Woods.
Hey! Thank you so much for having me. This is an awesome podcast. I love the tone of this podcast already. Positivity. It's hard doing that up here. It's not. I don't know if it's legal.
Yeah.
Scottish positivity.
Yeah. Genuine. It's sincere happiness.
Yeah.
We've just come from playing a round of mini golf with Gareth Much.
Oh.
And that was a lot of fun.
That was very joyful. That's part of why we do these joyful journeys where we go out and we do things that bring us joy and we get the guests to pick them sometimes. So Gareth wanted to do mini golf and we had a great time.
Oh, I didn't get the invite for that, but I guess I'll check when
next time you're up, Ali, please, you're more
we
than
want
welcome.
to do stuff that gives us joy. Anyway, so you're leaving soon, so it's good to have you on.
Well, we're just really glad to actually get you in your busy diary.
Yeah.
So you're on tour at the moment.
Oh yeah, baby.
And you just did a huge your first special record.
No, second one, but
Your
obviously the
second
first
one
one did well. And if you see the word got out about the first one, it's pretty big news in the comedy scene. You can check it out on YouTube. They say the best things in life are free. So no subscription needed for that. But yeah, it's called Best Friend Ever. But yes, I just did the second special recording. So now I'm going the horrible thing of having to look through that and look at all the mistakes and things I wish I could have changed. No, I don't do that too day to day for me. But I've got one of the. I mean, we've got you in here. He's that sort of side of things behind camera. You can see why.
Producer,
but they're so talented at the buttons and things. So. But he's I've got an editor on that, but I've got a couple round of edits, so I'm going through it and just saying can we make me look thinner, up the volume
priorities,
of laughs.
I'm currently in the same. I'm editing my first comedy special, which was recorded and is being edited by Mason Stade, Tom Stade's very talented filmmaker son. And I hate it. I'm just like, I don't know, just you decide. And he's like, no, it's your special. And I'm like, I don't like listening or looking at me. So can you just do it?
There's nothing worse than to watch yourself back and then decide what bits you want in and what bits you think you're funniest at.
I think it's all gold. It's all gold, isn't it?
Yeah.
All of it,
Can we
unedited.
make this longer?
Yeah. I think we recorded like an hour and 40 minutes. And
really?
It's obviously got to get down to like, say, 50 minutes or something, I think is what he wants to edit it down to. And I'm like, well, I don't, it's killing your babies, isn't it? You've got to like.
Why does it need to be that short?
Can you do 2 parts? I could do an hour. But I think he's right. I think it needs to be
a lot of shit in there.
I think it just needs to get rid of the shit bits.
That's his feedback.
But I was really ill when I recorded my special, so I couldn't really enjoy it, which is a shame because I've been looking forward to it for a long time. But I just I got into that mentality of like, okay, everybody is here, everything is set up. We just need to get through it. And I mean, it's great. It looks great and sounds great.
Where
and
did you
I'm sure
record it?
it'll be. I recorded it in the Garage Nightclub.
Oh, yeah.
An institution of Glasgow.
A Scottish institution as part of the Glasgow Comedy Festival in March. But you had the best little promo pic that I've seen, where you had your whole audience bring out camera phones the other night. So tell, like, first of all, where did you record it?
Camera phone, showing your age. It's sorry about that, Jay. But
Shots fired.
Oh, come on, you've obviously never listened to another podcast I'm on, because I come here to roast. This is because I don't get to play mini golf. I go on the attack.
We've started off on a bad note.
Hannah, I'm coming for you soon.
Oh my God.
I'm coming.
Ali, tell me about your special. I'm sure it can be wonderful.
Well,
the first one.
Finally, someone on the
Well, the first
podcast
one
knows a little bit about comedy.
I mean, the first one, it only way is up, so please.
I don't even want to play mini golf with you guys anymore. This is why the amount of podcasts I'm on that don't get aired. I'll tell you what, it is. People would know me a lot more. It was. That's what people do. That's what my photographer said. Yeah, get lights out on the phones, then you can see how many people are there, and it kind of looks like a cool image. But
it was a really cool image, and it was in
Hackney Empire. In East London. Yeah, it was a really lovely theatre, man.
Yeah, and he packed it out. You can see because
Yeah,
they're
with
all on
all
their
the-
camera phones
Yeah.
on 3 tiers.
Yeah.
3 tiers. I'm like, look at this fucking show off.
That's like some
Get your
cold.
beepers out! I shout, get them up! Tamagotchis, let's go!
Listen, I'll tell you what. My audience actually brought torches. It was flames, right? It was just
but
burn the witch.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. I'm terrible at this premise. Some people are so strategic though, in like how they have their career plan. Like you talk to comedians, then they've got this 2-year plan, 5-year plan, 10-year plan. I'm like, we're here because I'm bad at admin. You know what I mean? Like I don't have those sort of thoughts. I'm just fighting for my life on podcasts every day. That's all I do. You know. So.
Yeah.
See, that's like, I always think it's really weird because I've been doing comedy for a very long time, and I really struggle with the kind of in the direction that it's gone. Now, you and I have had this conversation before because I'm like a very purist comedian. To me, it was where the weirdos went. It was where the unpopular kids went. We weren't trying to be popular because there was no chance, and we were doing it in the room for the people. And now the whole industry has changed, and you have careerists, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It just, for me, I just find it really difficult because I love that moment that happens in the room that can't be explained. And even if you caught it on camera, it wouldn't work the way that it worked in the room at that moment. And that's what I love about comedy. And that's why I'm poor.
Yes, weird. It is weird though, isn't it, man? Like I remember before I started doing stand-up, growing up, like comedians were ugly. Like that was like a thing. But now you got to be hot to be a comedian now. Like, that's
The hotter you are, the more successful you
the
are.
better it goes. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I used to, but this thing. Yeah, it's weird because I agree with you. Like I feel like it's comedy is supposed to be a lot of people who, when they were in their formative years, not invited to the party, and then you find all the people who weren't invited, and you have your own party. But then sometimes I feel like then it gets exclusive again, and like
Yeah.
you get left out of yet another party.
Yep.
I'm terrible for that. I don't really have many comedy friends. Like
Oh, really?
No, I think because I grew up in London and I live there, and a lot of people in London have come to London to do comedy.
Yeah.
So they don't have friends. They found each other. I think that's a really nice thing. Like I felt like that when I was out in New York. Although for legal reasons I wasn't doing any comedy, but but I just hang out with my like school friends.
Yeah.
So I'm not like, oh, who's around today? I'm just going to my friend's birthday, like normal.
just
so.
like normal people.
Yeah,
And what do all
so
your
for-
friends do? Are they like accountants and shit like
Oh,
that?
worse, yeah. That's
yeah.
accountant would be like a more giving back to society job than what they do. They're
Yeah.
like, I think that at the moment they're representing the devil in a court case, I think. But yeah, a lot of like lawyers and financiers
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That's, yeah.
So you're the arty one in the
Oh,
group.
man, I'm the clown, dude. Like, I can see it. You know, I can see it as you get older as well, because you just see the conservatism start to seep in as
Yeah.
people start buying property. They start thinking about having children and stuff.
Yeah.
Surely it's already there if you're from London. Surely the
The
seed was
conservatism.
the conservatism, the seed is there. Surely.
London, it's funny going up to Scotland because like you have London wankers, but London's very left wing. Like most cities are really left wing. Like if you see, and that's almost across the world, you'll see that like most cities are generally left wing. But the people who, what you get in London is people who, well, they come to London for their 20s and
Yeah.
it's like you've got a party for your 20s, but then at sort of 27, 28 they start looking at their exit plan, they find another boring person to mate with, and then they're like, right, we can go live in Surrey, Guildford, I want to be kind of near my mum and family, it's fair enough, and they're back to the village, and then they go from like being on a BLM march like to 5 years later they're like, well, I mean, Starmer could not have had a worse start, to be honest. I mean, honestly, it's been faux pas after faux pas. So you have that. So I don't really call them Londoners, but that is a
Yeah.
London attitude, though.
Okay.
And how old are you? Turned 31
Shut
yesterday.
the fuck up! Jesus Christ, man, what is this? Is this the hate
Oh, you
podcast?
shamed
The
me.
hate agenda?
You shamed
Yeah,
me
what do you
for it.
think? For insecurity reasons? Go on the attack.
So Ali, you're 25. How
Thank
are you?
you.
No,
Man, no one
I
likes to
read-
kiss us, though, to be fair. Anna, so you're actually, I don't like you
Okay.
as much. Yeah.
I read yesterday, because it's like a knife to my heart. when young comics, which you are, say, "Oh my God, I turned 31. I'm so old," and I'm sitting here at 42, like, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah.
31 is a baby.
Yeah. Well,
So was your birthday yesterday?
I think, yes, it was. Yeah. Have you ever had this? I had the first experience ever of a birthday. I didn't see any friends or family.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
for the whole.
We
that's
should
why
have
I'm
brought
so
you
aggressive
mini golf.
today.
I'm really sad that we didn't.
Yeah, I
thought you'd
didn't
be
even
too
get
busy. Thought you'd be
just
too
just
busy.
got info. I got a brief about the podcast. Is all I got on my birthday from Jay Lafferty. And I was like,
Happy
"You doing
birthday."
anything today?" Unreplied. 5 minutes before the podcast. "Oh, sorry, just seeing this. See you there." And I was like, "I know that's mini golf texting. I know that's texting from the green." Line up
With
your
a dinosaur above me.
Yeah, T-Rex.
Yeah, I can just see I
T-Rex.
track on the location. Always do that whenever I gig with a female comedian. Just starting there. Always know their location just in case. But
So what did you do for your birthday then?
I came up to Glasgow, man. 4.5
Just spending
hour
Glasgow.
train up to Glasgow, and then I had to do a lot of work, and then I was checking into my hotel, and then just went down to the stand and just did my show, and that was it.
And do you feel old being 31? Because I am also 31. And
You're
I feel-
31 as well.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about it?
I had more of a hard time turning 30, I think, because it is that crossover. But I just
I
kind of
want to kill them both.
So hey, you don't want to do that because people have camera phones now. They'll pick up.
yeah.
Anything gets captured now.
That'll be
You
getting
flip that
faxed
phone out.
straight
There's
to
part of me
Yeah.
that's like, what do you call that then? I don't understand. Like,
Just a phone, I think.
oh yeah, just
Just
a
the phone.
But I meant because the little light was on.
Yeah, the flashlight.
Yeah.
The flashlight.
Yeah, I love it.
Do we call those flashlights now?
Yeah, torch, phone torch.
A phone torch?
Yeah.
torch.
You can't, like, I have a bit where I talk about torches in my set, and I realise that I have to keep referencing them as flashlights because Americans have no clue what a torch is.
Yeah, they
That's
don't.
true.
Yeah, they do.
They're like,
They're very literal.
And with that
Flashlight.
accent as well, you got to be
Flashlight.
careful about how you pronounce flashlight because that could be something else.
Oh.
Those Americans. Excuse me?
I gave my son a flashlight.
He's got a flashlight. You what? What? Cover your ears, Bobby. This is the last time we come to Edinburgh in England. That is the last
You're just
time.
reliving some of your birthday last night.
This was just me in my hotel room having a psychotic breakdown, doing 4 characters.
So you feel all right being 31. You feel
Yeah, well, look, hey, man, I'm a big believer. This is why I genuinely love this idea of this podcast. I'm a very happy person. I do genuinely think my life's sick. I think it's awesome. And I think a lot of life is great. I think it also doesn't get better than this. So you have to enjoy as much as you can. And so I do think it's, I'm never going to be sad at an age, I think, because it's just a joy to be alive. But 31, it felt contextually like in my life, like I should be having some sort of solid life by now. Like 31 feels in my 30s. Turning 30, I had different because that felt like the end of my 20s and feel like almost a celebration of that. What's going to happen now? But 31, I feel like I'm now into my 30s.
That's true.
And the 30s sound like a very serious decade.
And there's a lot of pressure when you're in your early 30s and they're like, get married, have kids, have a house, where are you? And it's just a lot of subliminal pressure that's coming at you.
Especially as a woman as well.
Yeah.
I think.
I
Which
think
I didn't
that-
need to bring up, but I guess I'm just a good guy like that. But
Such a feminist.
I'm not a fucking crazy guy, but let's just...
An ally. An ally.
It's pronounced Ali, but yes, thank you so much.
Ali the ally.
Well, that's great that you're so joyful, and I think that maybe brings us nicely onto our first question for you. Ali Woods, what brings you joy?
You're coming on this podcast, firstly, I want to say.
Thanks.
I want to say that. And I mean that.
And you've mellowed
Sincerely.
out. We started high energy
You
and
start
we've
on the
mellowed.
attack. That's
Here we
my
go.
strategy for every
Keep 'em
podcast I
guessing.
go on. Yeah. I'll go back on the attack soon.
Oh, great.
But I have a moment. I have a... and then she needs to recover and then I'll be back. Just wait for the cat to kick in. But it's so I have a lot of things. Yeah, bring me joy. Generally, this is what a lot of my current show and this special is about. I've come to a point in my life where I feel very happy just for being alive, and it's really great. So I take moments. So even today, I took a moment to just consider. I was in a cafe on my own in Edinburgh, and I ordered a eggs Benedict and a hot chocolate, and I was like, that's such a rogue order. But I was like, that's on its way. Like, how sick is that? I love both those things. I'm gonna get bacon and eggs and a hot chocolate. This is great. I'm like, what a great life. I recently got into a new relationship, and she's awesome. She's so great. She's so smart, and she's so fun. And it's nice to feel that sort of warmth again. One thing I had recently because obviously now, like with birthday, and I spend some time with my family and stuff, and my sister's recently had a baby. And one thing that I really have never thought of before, but really gives me joy, is when me and my sister collaborate on something. So when we're on the same team, like, I don't know if you ever have that with your siblings, because it's often you're fighting and you're getting on each other's nerves. But then whether it's against the parent or like, I don't know, like just those moments where you get to really just be on the same side and like give each other a look like, we got him, you know. I think I'm relishing and being more grateful for the family I have. Yeah. Same with like whenever I see an adult man with their dad on the street, that warms my heart, because I think of me and my dad and the bond that we've been able to create in my adult life, watching the football together and hanging out a lot more than we did maybe even when I was like a teenager. So that sort of stuff, like family stuff, really does make me joy. I'm very grateful. I have a very great life, and so there's a lot of things that do bring me joy generally, and just doing what we get to do. I mean, even just the feeling of just being here sat on a couch, like, you know, there's so much you can complain about in comedy, like any job, but like it's truly a gift to be able to do what you enjoy, let alone what you love as your job. Yeah. So many people in this world, they never get to do what they enjoy. I mean, look at you, and he's miserable. Look at him sitting over there. He hasn't smiled once. And I've been saying some pretty funny shit, but that's depression. And so, but so many people don't get to do what they enjoy, and even to do it once, to do your dream once, to go on the stage and be a comedian once is amazing. Let alone being able to do it full time, to be paid to do what you love. I think it's an incredible thing. Like, I've been doing this tour. It's my first ever tour. I've only got 3 dates left, and it's been great. Like, I didn't know if anyone's going to show up. The audiences I've had have been awesome. The feeling of people having bought a ticket to come see you, and the gratitude they express sometimes. Oh, thanks so much for coming to like Chester or Bath or some random, like, you know, and that's been so lovely. But, you know, at the same time, it can be like stressful of like, oh, you know, am I selling enough tickets, and constantly trying to push tickets, and you know what it's like. You're only opening your phone away from thinking that you're shit, that your career's shit, that you've missed out on your chance or whatever. And so in those moments, I do these shows, and I say hi to everyone that came at the door. I say thank you to everyone, and it's just the best. And I go back to my hotel, and I'm on my own and all that. Even like yesterday, I'm on my own on my birthday, and I had a call with my girlfriend. So that was really lovely to catch up with her. And she's doing great at the moment. And but even then, I'm just like, yeah, but do you know what the alternative would be? The alternative would be sitting there at your desk every day, having this stability, hoping for a pay rise, hoping you don't get any emails that day, and just watching life fritter away, man. Like, this is the best. Even the highs and the lows. Like, I love a roller coaster. I do. And so this, just getting to do this full time. Like, I just think if I went back to 13 and 14-year-old version of myself, and I was able to say, by the way, like when you're watching like Live with Apollo and Mock the Week and stuff, like this will be you, like you. I'm sorry, not on those particular channels, but I keep making fun of the producers for calling it camera phones and stuff. But it's a different issue. But it's even you'll get to do that. Like, you'll get to do your dream.
Yeah.
And never take that for granted.
No.
It's the best thing.
It's a privilege. Like, I always kind of similar thing, like to stand on stage and make people laugh is a real privilege. And yeah, it is mad, but it is a privilege to make people laugh. And sometimes when you get like a message from somebody who's like, you know, been at a tour show, or they've come to the Fringe to see you, or they've just seen you on a multi-act night on a Friday or Saturday, and you get a message going, oh, like, I was feeling really crap and I wasn't going to come out tonight, and then I came out and I had a really good night.
You get these messages? Who's sending these?
Do you not get those? Do you not get those? You just calling everybody out for having camera phones.
So, and I think even when you have bad gigs, you're still, obviously, it's when you're having a bad gig. Yeah, okay, just me, guys. Sorry, I was being
awkward.
Fucking, I've got it covered from both angles.
Didn't tell me I was doing a podcast with a loser.
It's fine, Jay. When I have constant bad gigs all the time, you're still sort of grateful for it, and when it's always a really good response from people.
Felt like that. No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah. It's tough though. That's when, I tell you what though, Jay, that is when you know you want to be a comedian. It's when you're starting out and you're doing some shite gig and it's gone horribly and you feel the worst and you're still like, I want to do another one.
Yeah.
And that is what separates you, because there's loads of people at that stage that they might be talented and all that, but they don't do it. And it's fair enough, because they don't really want to do it. But it's in those moments when you know you want to do it.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, I find whenever I'm in a green room with comedians and it starts chatting about like who's getting what, or people being bitter, just how shit the industry is, and I think, man, like, just leave. Just like go do something else. I get you should be able to express, grievances and anxieties and stuff like that. But there's people who constantly always have to complain, and I just feel like there's so many people who would want to do this. This is the best thing ever. Like, if you don't enjoy it, like, what's the point, man?
Yeah.
Totally, because there are so many people that it's so, like you're saying, you're so grateful for it, and as are we, and that people they're don't, and it's always what's next and why have you got that, and like just don't compare yourself to other people, and just got to do what you do.
That is hard though, man.
It's really
is the thief of joy.
easier said than done. Yes,
That's my issue. I know you said this might be a question later. That's my issue. I always internalize whenever I see someone else doing something that I would like to do. It just makes me feel shit. Not because I'm annoyed they've got it. It's more that I feel like I'm not working hard enough. Like, I need to do more. And I hate that, man. I wish I could. Like, my friend asked me recently if I'd go to therapy. Don't know why.
Very stable.
Yeah, I was just shouting him. And and I was like, to be honest, generally I feel like my big problem was like, before this was probably like committophobia, not letting people get to know the real me. And I feel like from like having fallen in love for the first time, that sort of sorted that out. But the one now I think is like, that's what I would want to work on, is just not having to internalize everything. Just like being able to genuinely see someone be like, great, they've got that. And I'm doing great as well. We're all doing great. But instead I'm like, well done them. But like, why? I need to like, why am I not working on it? Why am I trying to see friends? Why am I trying to like have a relationship? You should be just like working 24/7. Like, stop sleeping. Like, you're lazy.
But I think that's, I mean, I've been doing this since I was 21. And initially I did
3 years.
No one likes
Don't try and make up
no
for
one
it
likes
now,
a kick
Ali.
arse. A kick arse.
Kick arse.
So I didn't see that section on the brief.
And I think that used to be like a thing, exactly what you're explaining there. But recently, in the last few years, I think when I turned 40, I made a decision to celebrate other people's wins hard. Like, so when somebody else does achieve something that I would really like for myself, I put that energy into celebrating that win for them even more than I would usually, and like putting that positive energy out there, because again, I have seen so many comics now go on to amazing things that everybody in this room would love to have, and you speak to them and they are still not happy.
Yeah.
They are still looking at what the next thing is, or what they should have done, or that person's actually got this. And I'm like, you're in a situation that a lot of other people would kill to be in. And I think that gave me a real lesson of like, actually, there's no point in having those things if you're not happy. So just try and celebrate every win, even the wins that aren't yours. Celebrate your friends' wins. Celebrate the people you don't like's wins. Just try and celebrate.
Oh, that's what your comment on my post. That was sweet. That's nice.
I was like, yay! Look at all that camera fun.
There's no coming mini golfing. Well, I feel like that's kind of taken us into sort of our next segment as well, talking about that was sort of maybe something that kills your joy. Our next segment.
Yeah, okay, let's see if we can get the thing to win. There's somebody playing hardcore. Can you hear that?
There's a little bass going
There's
on.
a
wee bit of a party going on.
Party in the alley.
Yeah.
Here we go. So this is the part of the podcast where we say to you,
Is that you?
that is me.
Oh, cool.
Yay! I love how you didn't even recognise it.
I look like a stock image, and then I was like, is it insulting to say that's you? Because I was like, she's obviously just got a stock image here.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's a very old photo. I think I'm like 10 years younger in this photo. I can't remember where. I got it taken for a Fringe show, but I can't remember which one. But it just made it was quite a good joy kill. Although I still have grey hair, so maybe it's not that old. I don't know.
You look great.
It's all good. I also
You
have
look
fake eyelashes on.
Fantastic.
I have a lot of makeup on. It's all good.
Maybe this photo is your joy killer. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't.
It's better than the last photo that I used to have where I had my chest out for no given reason. I didn't
You got to sell tickets somehow.
Listen,
dude.
that's
you
what
got
we
to sell tickets somehow.
You got to stand as a female comic, you know what I mean? It's
Absolutely. This is the
Because
Jay's.
You started when you were 21.
I started when I was 21.
So you're, as a woman in comedy, it must have been rough. Like, it's pretty rough now. Like, or did you not mind it? You were fierce.
I am fierce.
Yeah.
But I think one of the great privileges that I have had over the last 20 years is watching, because I used to be like the only woman on the bill.
Yeah.
And I used to be able to gig. I'd be gigging for 6 months without seeing another woman. There were other women out there, but we were just never on the same bill. And also, it was that thing of like early noughties, women being very pitched against each other, because again, it's that thing of like, well, if they got the gig, that means that I can't be on the gig. And I think it was one of these things where you were kind of, I don't think purposely, right, but kept very much separate. And then we suddenly realised, so hold on, if we all get together and form a super team against the patriarchy, then, you know. So I think it's been a great thing for me to watch so many young, talented, not necessarily young, but lots of fabulous women coming in to comedy and kicking ass now, and to the point where actually it's beginning to tip the other way. And I don't think there's more women than men, but
we're getting there.
We're getting there.
Getting there.
It's getting there, and it's brilliant. I love it. I love watching.
Is this camera here? And I personally think that's a good thing too.
But yeah, no, it's. I have lots of stories of having to stand up to the patriarchy, but they're for another podcast.
Yeah.
So this is Jay's Joy Killers. This is the part of the podcast where we say that yes, things can be joyful, but the world can be cruel and dark place. And what kills your joy, Ali?
Well, is that basically what I was talking about before? So it's my own competitiveness, I think. I find it very difficult to properly relax. Something I've been getting better at, but I always feel like I could be doing more and I should be doing more. And yeah, I don't scroll on like Instagram. I've never looked at a story like on purpose. I've never like gone through people's stories and stuff. Like I just feel like I get no joy out of that, and I've like literally never done that. But even just opening the app, sometimes like you see this or that, and someone's doing this or that, and so you do a video or you do a show or whatever, and you think it's great, and then you open your phone and you just see someone else's video with kind of 10 billion views and all that sort of stuff, and it can be, and then I just internalize that, and I just think, God, you got to be out there working harder, you got to be doing more, and it bleeds out to, I think, other parts of my life. So, for instance, like with my ex, like, she's an amazing person and we ended on good terms. But even that, I've realized recently, I still feel competitive over of like, I want to be like more over you than you are me and stuff like that, little things like that. Where I'm like, why? We're not even in each other's lives. Like, so, it's just small things like that where I just would love to really be able to be chilled and just be zen and be like, oh, it's great for them. And, I'm doing my own thing. I think that can be tricky.
I think it's very difficult to meet a Zen comic.
Yes, is it not really? We've all got ADHD.
Well, do you ever think this though as well? Because it's that feeling of if I sorted out my psychological problems, then I'd be a bad comic. I'd be bad on stage. And also it's a thing of like, I'm a big like football fan and general sports fan, and like, did you guys watch The Last Dance? With Michael Jordan with the basketball.
No.
It's about his like it's kind of like his career, but it's in this team that was so successful, the Chicago Bulls. But it's an interesting character portrait because it shows that he was super competitive, almost to it's a flaw, right? Is that he struggles to really have a good marriage or like have real love in his life. But it meant he was so successful and arguably the greatest basketball player of all time. And that's what I struggle with as well, because there's part of me that has that kind of like Roy Keane element of like, I don't want to lose competitiveness and wanting to win all the time and wanting to be the best I could possibly be. It's never against someone personally. I'm not like trying to defeat someone to be like, fuck you. It's just to be the best I can be. I don't want to lose that because then I'll start working as hard and I might not achieve the things I want to do. But then what's the point of doing that, as you say, if then you're not happy? Because you bring that unhappiness with you. That's what I've realised. And that's what I'll say to anyone. I've had a lot of people in my life, and especially friends in their late 20s and stuff, who are wondering why their relationships keep failing and the dating keeps failing, or like they'll move to another job and they'll be like, oh, when I get this new job I'll be happy, and then 6 months later, they're like, oh, I'm so unhappy at this job. It's like, you bring it with you, wherever it is, you bring it with you. Like, your happiness and your unhappiness, it's not found in a flat or a job or a relationship. It's found in you all the time. And so I don't want to, because it's all in me, I don't want to lose the competitiveness. But then I also do want to not have like my joy just completely derailed by seeing that someone's done this thing that I'm like, oh, that I should be doing that. I should be doing, So it's a mix.
Find that balance, isn't it?
Have you found a way to like stop that from happening?
Well, part of it is there's scrolling. I like to take myself out of industry gossip as much as possible. And I think that's partly why I don't have as many comedy friends. Is because like I don't like the chit chat. I don't like the. I'll happily talk about the mechanics of comedy and talk about jokes and talk about bits we're writing and tell funny stories about gigs we've done and all that. But the sitting around talking about this producer's talking that and they've shagged them and they're doing that and they shouldn't, like, I just
the gossip.
Gossip. I just try and shut it down as much as possible. And so I do that, and then also similar with the scrolling, like I don't really do that. And also, as you're saying, I think I've gotten better at that, but like genuinely being happy for other people, and not that I'm unhappy they've got it, but just not internalizing it and just being like, it's great. Genuinely, it's because I'm leaning more into that side of things. Like, it's great you've got that, like, good for you, and it's great you're doing this, and more being more collaborative. That's what's really great about doing sketches, is that it's a much more collaborative area. So with stand-up, because it's so singular, it's you on stage, it always feels like that's going to be the end. Like, as much as you can be doing podcasts with people, like, it's like, we are selling tickets to my tour. Like, this is my thing. And with sketches, you really benefit from collaborating with everyone else. And everyone, it's a solo activity, making sketches. So I think people are much more open to like, oh, please do something with me, because I'm tired of setting up a camera phone on my own. And
with
recording
a flashlight
myself
torch.
with a flashlight torch, you know what I mean, and hoping to go viral on teletext and all that stuff. Like, it's
faxing it to your agent.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Sending out the carrier pigeons. That's interesting that you said it, because you post a lot on social media. You've got a huge following on there, but you don't like to be on there sort of as much looking at stuff. Do you like read comments and things? Do you find that difficult? You just don't bother reading that?
No, but you know what? That's not even I mean, I've had that before when I started out. Also, thank you for saying I got a huge following, but that's another perspective thing. You can say, once I get 10,000 followers, I'll be happy. Once I get 100,000 followers, I'm going to be happy. Blah, blah, blah. But, it's always perspective. Then you see someone else getting more. So I've learned to just detach from that. I don't even really look at my following anymore. I'm just trying to focus on making good stuff. That's the plan. Because I haven't been so far. But yeah, the comments side of things, when I started out, maybe because I just wanted everyone to enjoy it. But I got this good advice where it's like, negative comments, that means your video's doing well.
Yeah.
Because it's doing so well that it's going outside of your circle. It's reaching people who don't even like you. Like, they don't even like what you do. But so you learn to accept that. And then also, as I've done it more and more, I kind of just think, fuck them.
I always think it says more about them than it does about you, and I know that's a pure mum thing to say, and I remember my mum saying that to me about bullies in school. It says more about them than it does about you.
They're just jealous.
They're just because you're so pretty. All right, mum.
Thanks, Mom.
Totally. But I honestly, the more that I will see people saying negative things about friends' stuff, content that they've put out there, and I was like, wow, I see stuff on the internet I don't like all the time. Yeah. And I either just like block that person. There's nothing I love more than a preemptive block. I see somebody being horrible to somebody I like, and I'm like, nah, just block you. Love it. But I either just block it or I just scroll on by. I can't imagine what has to be wrong in your life that you will take the time to make a negative comment about somebody else's work.
Absolutely.
Like I can't think of any time that I've ever done that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't.
Imagine one of your friends was doing that. Imagine if you were like, yeah, what'd you get up to last night? I was just commenting, this is shit on loads of people's stuff. You're
just trolling.
Like, who are these people? You know what I mean?
And that's why those people that comment in real life, like, you wouldn't take their opinion, you don't care what they think, because it's like, why would you spend your time doing that? So you have to think that, but
it's not funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, it's not funny to you, but you must understand that funniness is subjective.
Yeah. And also, he's not funny. You scroll past it.
Why? It's
especially
so
with stand-up, I feel like that gets really, like, obviously I do sketches and you get fewer negative comments on that because I think it's immaterial. It's like, oh, well, whatever. But with stand-up, especially in this country, people see it as a sacred thing and you have to be really good to do it. You can't ever be learning it or be a comedian that other people find funny.
Yeah.
They're like, this is the fucking worst thing. I can't believe it. Especially as women, I assume, like, you, like, from what my female comedian friends have said, like, you know, the comment they've got, like, I remember a friend telling me about it and she's like, she get the worst shit and it'll be like, you know, I hate this, like, go to hell, I hope you die. And then you click on the person's profile and it's like, be kind, mother,
love, love.
yeah, Trump 2024.
He's always like a dad with these kids on his shoulder. And I'm like, yo,
Weird.
you influenced young minds. That's horrendous.
Yeah, it's strange. So you got just like I think not worry about those sort of people.
I just say again, I think it comes back to there's something missing with them.
Totally.
And I think if you're going to put yourself out there, you kind of have to be okay with ignoring that negativity.
Yeah.
It's a tax. I see it as a tax anyway. Tax on being famous. You might have a little bit less privacy. You might have negative comments. But that's what you get to do what you love. Like, if you want to be famous, that's what you're going to have to... Like, it's not going to happen otherwise. Everyone gets that. Like, whoever your favourite artist is, there will be people walking around being like, that person is shit. I literally hate them. Like, they've never met them before, but that's just...
The worst one is when people go, I don't know, I just don't like them. They just annoy me. You know that? And you're like, okay. Like, there's something
That was
about
a private
them.
conversation.
I know,
Come on.
But he's
I'm
here
right
now,
here.
so let's...
Right.
Lovely. Well, we might need to just jump on to our last segment quickly.
I'm sorry about this. Every podcast I go on, it always ends the same. They always go, I think that was the longest episode we've ever recorded. I've never once got that was the funniest or the most insightful.
Well, don't take it personally. We were just on a tight schedule today, and our last episode
You
went
got fit in all that mini golf.
We went an hour and 20 minutes in our last episode.
It was
and
very
had
long.
to cut it.
Yes, so we're keeping
extensively
to
We're
schedule.
like, let's do schedule. So we've got Hannah's
that's me.
headlines. There
Wow,
she is.
look at that.
Wow,
That's cool,
that's
isn't it? Very nice.
He recognised you.
You said Hannah. You said Hannah.
Yeah, so that was
What's
freezing.
going on there then? What's this even for?
That was one of my first headshots I got when I came back, and I just
right.
needed headshots, and it was outside in Edinburgh, and it was freezing cold that day, and it was
Look
very
at the
awkward.
weeds in the
Yeah,
background.
I was gonna say, didn't fancy a nice.
I don't know. I
background
didn't pick
just-
this picture. I'd like to say.
Sorry, I know.
Jay picked
I
it.
did pick that
but
picture.
it's fine. Anyway,
Just because I thought you looked like a newsreader, and it's called Hannah's headlines.
yes, there. Yeah, that's a good one.
We do need to update the
Update
photos.
that maybe. I'll get one with me wearing glasses or something like a newsleader. So basically, this segment's called Hannah's Headlines, where I just bring in something that I've seen that's interesting or something that's caught my eye. And this week, I saw this lovely article that was about Edinburgh University warns students not to be snobs. Don't know if you guys have seen this, but basically Edinburgh Uni put out a message to all its students saying that they need to stop being snobs to people from Scotland or people that didn't go to private school. And apparently, it's a massive issue where you got all these Oxbridge rejects coming up and being horrible to our poor Scottish and state school people.
Yeah. So about 26% of Edinburgh students are from Scotland.
Yeah.
Which is pretty grim, isn't
But
it?
It's-
Edinburgh Uni, you got to be quite smart to go in it.
Yeah.
So you know that makes sense.
Okay.
It's all those thick Scottish people not getting it.
Yeah, it's just-
I'm sure if this was like a sausage factory or something, the percentage would be
They'd be true in.
I'm really glad that you've pre-sold the tickets for your show tonight in Edinburgh. And he wasn't saying this shit when he was in Glasgow last night, let me
Absolutely
tell
not.
you.
But I mean,
nah.
I have
'Cause
friends
I
that...
can't beat them up, but in Edinburgh I feel all right.
Yeah, it's because they're all English.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, I have friends that went to Edinburgh Uni, and that was always the story. I have one friend, and she was always like, I'm the only Scottish person there. They always look down on me. It's like they're all, and I think it's just that big cohort of.
I think the
rich
issue
people.
is because obviously St Andrews University, Edinburgh University rely heavily on the subsidies because the Scottish education is free. So they really need a lot of English students and overseas students because Edinburgh University owns most of Edinburgh. Most of the buildings you walk past are owned by Edinburgh University.
Really?
And they're old buildings. So they need, I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this shit.
Look at this.
I mean, that roof's
That
costing
could
a
be
fortune. That's a
Yeah,
leaking.
that could
As
be
a
a good-
homeowner, myself, right? Not that either two of you would know about that, because
No.
you know.
Different
'Cause we're-
generations.
yeah,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Generation. It's a
We're
good
millennials and we're
generation.
fucked.
I'm actually still a millennial. Thank you very much. Just the
Yeah,
older
someone's
side of it.
googled that.
Yeah. She's right
You
on
could
the
change
cusp.
that into
Right on
Cafe
the
Nero or
cusp.
It's
something.
that,
That'd
think how
be
many
sick.
Gregs that you could get in there.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Honestly, I think they just need to for so many roofs that they've got to fix, that they've got to have all this. So I don't think it is to do with the smartness. I think it's more to do
Well, that was
with
more a
them.
joke, but yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. You wouldn't
Yeah.
have got that because obviously Scottish. But yeah, but hey, but it's wild, isn't it, man? Privately educated people are so. You review privately educated?
No.
No. It's
Yeah, I scream privately educated.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to judge. I mean, obviously I knew, but I don't want to judge. But because it's wild because when you meet privately educated people, like they just have they're brought up in a bubble.
Yeah.
They just are.
That's the thing.
Like, and you can meet the most chilled, nice person, but like, if your formative years are going to like a private institute
Proper,
where you're
yeah.
told, you are the future.
Especially one in like London, where I'm
Yeah.
sure they're just on stairs there. So you've been in that private upper class bubble, and then you all just come to Edinburgh. They don't know anything different, so of course they're gonna. So no, I think we need to send them on an exchange because they love to travel to Glasgow, and let
Did you
them.
ever see that viral video that was the American evangelists that came to Glasgow
No.
with a missionary to save people in Glasgow?
Wow.
How'd it
No.
go?
Because it did not go well.
Shocker.
They were just walking around, not even an area of poverty in Glasgow, just a normal area, going, "Oh my God, we can't believe people can live in this." Like, "Hear you."
Honestly,
crazy.
there's Mormons near me, and I've been stopped by the Mormons 3 different times, and I'm starting to take offence to it. Honestly,
Yeah.
it might be
They
because
really
I'm.
want to save you, eh?
I think it might be because I'm out for a walk at 11:30 on a Tuesday. So they're like, she
Mormons
needs
who are
saving.
incredibly bad at maths.
Are they?
Well,
Lose
I
track
don't
of
know
their
what
wives.
I don't know what the actual. Well, there's the wife thing as well. How many do I have? No, it's that they believe that there's a certain amount of people going to get into whatever their version of heaven is. I have no idea. But obviously, there are far more Mormons than the number that they believe is
Oh.
getting in. So I'm like, so how do you know you're the Mormon that is going to?
Maybe it's like a talent show at the end, like
Yeah.
an X Factor style.
Big buzzer.
Yeah,
Golden
the
buzzer
X
you're
is
going
across
through.
or something. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that could be.
Get
Across
strung
that
up.
way.
Yeah. That's yeah.
It's a crucifix. not a
Yeah,
cross.
yeah.
But what's great is that all around Edinburgh a couple of weeks ago there was it's all the posters for the Book of Mormon the musical, and these 2 Mormons stopped me right by a poster for the Book of Mormon.
Apparently, the Mormons love the Book of
Do
Mormon.
they?
Yeah, apparently it's been because you know what they say. There's no such thing as bad publicity.
That's very true.
And if you go to the Book of Mormon, which I did with a whole bunch of comics who had partaken of some jellies beforehand.
Oh, really?
Some
Yeah,
fun
there's a lot of sugar in
sweeties.
that. Yeah.
And it was a fun night. But when you leave, when you come out, there's Mormons outside trying
Really?
to convert. Yeah, outside Book of Mormon.
Wow.
Because they're like, yeah, you've learned us. This is what we're about.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah.
Come on,
Come.
it's just like this.
Because it's quite a competitive field, religion.
Well, yeah.
You really got to fly hard for that one, like to
Yeah.
get people in to your show.
Yeah. Tell you what, maybe I should get some Mormons far from me at the fringe. They know what they're doing.
They do know what they're doing. I grew up. I've said this before. I don't know if on the Joy Agenda, but on certainly other podcasts. I grew up very near a Mormon church, and you started to realize that if any young American, when I was a teenager, if any young American boys approached you and started chatting, because initially you were like, oh,
Whoa!
There we go. Visa time.
yeah, and then suddenly you
It's
realize,
like Greece.
oh, no. Hey, Sanny.
Yeah, Cheryl, it's like Greece. I said Greece.
Yeah, they used to come and lecture me about smoking. Young women shouldn't
really?
smoke.
Right.
Oh, and then you would suddenly go, oh no, you're Mormon.
Wow.
But yeah, but of course, it was always quite nice in the west coast of Scotland to have another religion that you could run away from.
That's true.
You know, just so it wasn't just about the two.
Yeah. It's good to have
Yeah.
options. Good
It's
to have
nice-
options.
Nice to bring other versions of sectarianism into the fold. But yeah,
Cool.
I think this is that was. I read
thought
the
it was funny.
article and it was like 3 kind of people from, I would say, middle class backgrounds,
Yep.
kind of basically saying, yeah, we get really bullied at university. And I don't know if it's going to help. Don't be a snob.
I know the fact they
that
sent
one?
out an email being like, "Don't be a snob," as if that's gonna. People are like, "Oh, of course."
You just got people opening an email like, hey, Chancey, have you seen
my God.
this fucking email?
Tarquin.
It is absolute fucking banter. I actually can't wait to go out and with all those povos later tonight fucking just throw my drink on them. It's so funny. That's actually quite humorous from them, actually. It's quite...
Oh my
Were you
God.
there?
That's my real voice.
Are you still on X? I left X about a month ago.
Did you?
And then I've just noticed in the last week a whole load of other comics who were like, "Oh, get me on Blue Sky," because,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I was pre the cool leaving of it.
so
I
you're a
actually looked at
trendsetter.
it a month ago and went, nah,
Not for me.
doing this anymore.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't used it for so long.
Yeah.
And I just thought, oh, this is going to become a cesspool.
Yeah.
So well, it was. But yeah, now everybody's like, get me on Blue Sky. And I'm like, oh, it's just another fucking place to put the same thing that I'm already putting on.
I felt old because I saw people going on Blue Sky and I had to Google what it was. I was like, "What is this Blue Sky?"
I was like, yeah, I'm not doing Blue Sky. Threads has been a pain in the ass enough. I'm just
I'm not on
like, no. Are you on Blue Sky?
I just downloaded it today, actually, because I'm a big football fan, and X or Twitter
Right.
is great for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like you got to keep trying to get people to invest in you
To invest,
Yeah.
yeah.
and just like have threads. But you're right. Now I just post like often just post the same stuff. So.
It's just the same stuff constantly. I'm quite glad now because Instagram and Threads have linked together. So I'm
You're
like,
like,
oh, good.
chill.
Just poof.
Yeah.
Stick it
Yeah,
all
yeah.
out in the one hour.
Lovely.
But, yeah.
Because that's another thing that can take away my joy is the disillusionment of that. Have we just got to keep posting for the rest of our lives now? Just shite.
It
just-
does seem
and
like-
some of the stuff that goes viral that you guess all, and you're just like, really? I'm not talking about our friends. I'm talking about like random. Like I'm obsessed with. There's this account called like Fegan or something on X, Twitter. It's got like millions of followers, and it just basically steals content from online and posts it.
Yeah.
But it's stuff like he didn't expect what she was gonna say, and it's like the most boring bullshit
Yep.
ever. The most like heteronormative, but like wait, she thought he was cheating on him, but it was a pillow, and it's like whoa, and it's like 100 billion views and like 10 million likes, and you're like, really?
I hate it when I get pulled into one of those videos, like quite often on Instagram. It's like, wow, you'll never. And I'm like, I will guess. I will. But, oh no, now I'm watching it.
I've got to watch it all the way
And
through
now
now.
it's like, and they eke it out, and it's like, you
yeah.
know, like sometimes it's like the ones that go on for like, and you get 3 adverts in the middle of it, and by the 3rd advert, I'm like, I don't care now. I've
Yeah.
lost the investment in this story.
But that's how they're making their money.
Yeah,
Their
you know what I'm
watch time.
fascinated by? Couples accounts and family accounts.
I find them very weird.
What's going on?
I don't know.
Imagine doing that.
Your whole relationship
Imagine that.
on.
It's
Bro,
like
No.
I couldn't be doing that.
the, it's like the
imagine?
influencers,
That's horrible.
Like,
the whole like
there's so many weird couple
the
influencers.
mumfluencer thing.
Oh, yeah.
I do have a bit more time for the mum influencers. I do think it's weird, but I think being a mum or being a parent can be a very scary thing. And if you open your phone, and I can understand how people can feel more okay about their lives, about the way they mother or parent or whatever. I can understand the demand for that. The couple stuff. How can you not believe it's all fucking fake? Like,
That's
how
what
can
it
you
is.
not?
It's-
How can you be like, whoa, I'm so glad she liked the gift? I'm like, they've got 2 cameras set up in their room. They've got a lighting rig.
So when
And
people
they're like,
wake
oh,
up,
I'm so happy for you guys. What the fuck are you talking about?
it's when they wake up like this, like,
You know what I mean?
I know.
Wake up with the makeup, full makeup.
Oh, yeah.
makeup.
And they've got a ring light.
Yeah. The only time I've woke up with no makeup is when I went to sleep in at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Before.
And that's when you're all down your face and you're like, ugh.
You're like that.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Good for the next day.
Have a Kesha shower and off you go. you're ready to.
What's a Kesha shower?
Oh, it's just
Is that when
like,
you listen to Kesha?
I've never heard that. Maybe that's my
I
Kesha.
would call it a council
A
wash.
council wash, yeah,
A
yeah.
council
Just when you do a wee
wash.
baby wipe and you're not.
Yeah,
Oh,
you just
horse
like
bath.
you
Yeah.
just
A horse bath.
Horse bath, yeah, yeah.
That's
yeah.
the- that's the most
if you
upper
call it
class
a
thing you've
A
said.
horse bath is you did
Oh,
go to
horse
private
bath.
school.
Horse
Yeah,
bath.
a horse bath.
Yeah, yeah.
Have to go
I
to
didn't actually go to
A
private
council
school.
wash,
but-
tits and tits.
Council wash. That's a sketch group, isn't it?
A feminist
Puts
one.
in touch on 5:40 at the Caves, Scottish comedy,
Followed by the horse bath.
followed by the Durham Review horse bath. 5 stars in the elitist.
Ali, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming on
so
Joy
much for coming
Agenda. Can you tell the fabulous audience, because we're on YouTube now
Yes.
as well.
Oh, sick, man. That's
you can
good.
listen to us, you can watch on YouTube. Tell them what you up to, what you punting, where can they find you?
Well, yeah, if you're on YouTube and you're watching this, I'm gonna have I don't know when this is gonna come out, but I might have my special up on YouTube by then. Check me out on YouTube, Ali Woods, ALI Woods, and you'll find more stuff there. And then also, yeah, if you want just sketches and the life updates, then check me out on Instagram and TikTok and maybe even Blue Sky by the time this comes out. But and everything, it's Ali Woods Gigs, so it's ALI Woods Gigs. Check me out there, and yeah, I'll see you there. But this has been so great. Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you
having
so
me.
much for coming on,
for
Ali.
Appreciate
coming.
it. Yeah. I'm gonna go play mini golf on my own now.
Great.